there guys, welcome back to the deck box. This week on our deck tech video we'll be looking at somebody else's deck. I know we see lots of mine, so it's time to check out somebody else's. We got Geoff back on the show today. Welcome, Geoff.
Glad to be here.
We're looking at one of his decks, one that I particularly hate to play against because it just crushes me, but one that I love at the same time because it's a very well put together deck in my opinion. So Geoff, if you'd like to introduce your deck, what is it basically?
So far it has earned the title the Zombie Deck, as though there aren't any other zombie decks in existence.
Not around here, not in these parts.
So I suppose we'll just jump into the fundamentals of it.
Okay.
Basically, Innistrad cards make the deck, but it does lean very heavily on some of the stuff that you can find in M12, specifically Cemetery Reaper, of which I do kind of need a playset.
Yep.
And Zombie Infestation, which I've had to tick down, but still do need lots of slots for that.
Very fundamental, yep.
And Call to the Grave.
Which is just kills your opponent if he's playing anything but zombies.
The only thing it's not so great for is the mirror match, and
in which case you can sideboard it out, right? So.
Yep. And that's pretty much the core of the M12. I do have Vengeful Pharaohs as well, but they're kind of a quirky little solution that basically take a removal spot in most circumstances, and was actually one of the more impressive cards I saw from M12. But I never really sort of thought that he would find I would end up making a home for him.
You're able to toss him out with Zombie Infestation if you want, right? Make a zombie out of him and somebody else.
That's the general idea.
And then when he's sitting in your graveyard, he just hurts people, right?
Yep. So now we'll get to the Innistrad component. Probably the best dressed planeswalker of them all, Lily of the Veil. I only have one because I have one, and basically the backbone of a lot of the early plays here is the Diagraph Ghoul for 1 mana, and next to that is the playset of Scab Ruinator, which kind of make the deck scary.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly not least, we have the Snapcaster Mage. And the Snapcaster Mage does so much. Mm-hmm. It's so good. Even if all I'm doing is flashing back a Ponder, that's still a very valuable play. But most of the time I'm flashing back removal, like Go for the Throat or Dismember, and the occasional mana leak as required.
Mm-hmm.
But the Key de Grace, as you say, the star of the deck. So Grimgrin over here.
Yep.
And Grimgrin does pretty ridiculous things. I think he was a little bit more ridiculous when I was still playing with Reassembling Skeleton, but now that Dark Ascension is eventually going to offer me some self-resurrecting zombies that I could feed Grim with, that just means he gets even more ridiculous than ever. And, of course, if all else fails, there's Life's Finale, just in case I really just need to wreck my opponent and have no other choice. So, the only odd man out, I would really say, are these guys, the Skin Renders, because they're the only thing, really, from Scars Block that's in here, save for the Darkslick Shores, and that's just some convenience in terms of mana fixing, because, you know, they won't let me play with 6 Drowned Catacombs, although I wish I could.
What land base do you have as far as swamps, islands, and then the other land you have?
Well, the deck is mostly black, so
right.
in essence, I splash for blue, even though I am looking at double blue in order to make the Scab Ruinator work. So I think I just have five islands.
And you have 8 of the dual lands, is it?
5 of the islands, 6 of the dual lands.
Oh, 6, okay.
2 shores, and horse playset of the Catacomb, and the rest is swamps. It's a whole whack of swamps. The deck just can't function without black mana. And if by chance that does happen, the only way to dig myself out of trouble is Dismember, which doesn't require black mana sometimes.
All right. Anything else we'd like to highlight in this deck? Kind of Well, Forbidden Alchemy, I don't think we've talked about
Forbidden Alchemy, I was just about to talk about because I found Forbidden Alchemy only very, very slightly overrated for this deck because I almost never end up paying that flashback cost.
Right.
However, when I do cast it and I happen to get something that I really need to make things going, whether it's Scab Ruinators that end up that I choose not to pick and just put in the graveyard, or the Vengeful Pharaohs that end up doing gross things from in the graveyard, and say for example, it's stuff like that. The card I'd end up putting in my hand is this guy because he's really cool too.
Yep. Especially when you put those other cards in your graveyard, they're still affecting him as he comes out. So
mostly though, I end up sort of making lots of tokens, as many tokens as I can through here or here, and then the Unbreathing Horde's big, and provided he's being pumped by the Cemetery Reaper, he never dies ever.
Also, I guess another thing that's important to point out is that there's a lot of the cemetery play, or not cemetery, but graveyard play going on.
Yep.
And with Cemetery Reaper, you're allowed to capitalize on that, right? Even in your opponent's graveyard, you just make
I can't name the number of times that I've used the Cemetery Reaper on my opponent's graveyard because I tend to do that if I can, and my opponent just wants, oh crap, you just took away such and such a card that I was going to get back using on burial rites or some other means, and it sometimes really does wreck people, as in your very first gameplay video where the zombies won. They wrecked Blightsteel Colossus.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's right. I remember.
They wrecked Blightsteel Colossus against all my expectations.
Yeah, we should know what we should do though, and I guess you can look forward to this. I guess what we should do though is we should play another game with this deck real soon. So I guess if you want to see that, write in the comments. Say, hey, let's see this against whatever, and we'll try and work that out. Because we should see this deck play against something that's maybe a bit more normal, opposed to a combo kind of deck. So,
I wouldn't mind throwing this Pitbull into the ring. That's for sure.
So, again, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Thanks for watching the Deck Box. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something, maybe about your own zombie deck. So, thanks for Geoff. Thanks for being here again. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you around real soon. Roll for choice, people.